Today we take a dive into a fragrance centered around the majestic white flower, Tuberose. So we have Tuberose Imperiale from BDK Parfums. Tuberose, heady, narcotic, overbearing, old-fashioned? Let's find out. BDK Parfums. BDK is a newer house on the block, relatively new. It's from France, and I've raved about its cherry fragrance, Smoking Rouge, in at least one other video. I'm so sad I sprayed that one away to its demise. It was only a 10 milliliter flask like this one, and the full 100 ml is a little pricey, and I found that 10 ml sizes of perfumes are a really good size if you want to get a good feel for a fragrance. It's enough to get you through enough sprays and not have to worry about losing it. Much better than getting those 2 mLs or 1 ml samples, which just give you an initial, I guess, first impression. Anyway, I'm very impressed with all the BDK scents I've had the pleasure of getting my nose on. I've sniffed around 6 of them, I think, so far. Tuberose Imperiale was created by David Benedict, who's also the company founder, and it was launched in the year 2016, making it one of the house's earlier releases. This was actually not my first choice after Smoking Rouge, second favorite, but it came as a free gift when I ordered something from Lucky Scent some time ago. So I'm embracing it, and I'll tell you, it's not a hard thing to do. When I think tuberose, I usually reference Robert Piguet's Fracas, which is the grande dame of tuberose. But even though the Fracas tuberose is not particularly indolic, the fragrance is kind of a traditional composition, which is usually not my vibe. And if you know Fracas, I think you know what I'm talking about. Tuberose Imperiale, however, has a touch more modernism to it, and it's definitely more of a bubblegum type of tuberose, very sweet, chewy, and tasty. Here are the notes. Rose Bay Willow Herb. Okay, that's a first for me. Not sure what that particular note smells like, but to be honest, though you might be able to sniff out some jasmine. Yeah, there's jasmine, I can smell it. Yeah. And there's some sticky sweetness in here too. And yeah, you get the benzoin, but I think all the other notes are really there to support the star of the show, which is obviously tuberose. Perhaps the other florals work to soften and tame the intensity of the tuberose, because it's an extravagant white flower that I think needs reeling in from time to time. It's very buttery and creamy, and I think the ylang ylang helps with that effect as well. You really do get enveloped in an aura of refined elegance and sensuality with this. And yeah, there's bubblegum in there. I love the bubblegum in tuberose when you really get to it, but it's not overly bubblegum. Like, you're not going to smell this and think, oh, bubblegum. No, no, no. It's too sexy and sensual to even consider bubblegum in here. But it's a bubblegum tuberose still. Now, tuberose is a divisive floral, perhaps the most polarizing of the florals. I think it boils down to how overpowering or indolic the flower is. When tuberose is just past bloom or just a little overripe, it releases indoles, which can be deliciously skanky to some, you know, sweet, sweaty cumin and naughty bits. But to others, it's more like rancid butter that someone's peed on. I believe it's butyric acid I'm talking about, fellow fume heads. Yes, unsettling at best. I don't mind it, but not to worry, people, because it's not here. But alas, it's not here. Any devilishness that could have been is erased by the sweetness, which, by the way, is undoubtedly cause for migraines for some people. Be careful in overspraying this. Yet overall, despite the sweetness, the scent still manages to be captivating, which is impressive. Adding an amber note is one way to make tuberose devilicious, and I think that's precisely what's going on here. Tuberose Imperiale is, after all, classed as an amber tuberose, an amber fragrance. Never mind that it's not that obvious in the notes. This fragrance really does open with an explosion of creamy white petals, flooding the senses you really get whacked over the head with the intoxicating bouquet. But as I said, the bouquet is dominated by the rich, heady aroma of tuberose. Its unmistakable presence unfurls below your nostrils and pulsates with unrelenting enticement. As you wear it for a while, Tuberose Imperiale reveals a gentle interplay of spice and woods with a subtle hint of incense, infusing a touch of exotic allure. The velvety smoothness of benzoin lends a resinous sweetness that can make you feel overindulgent, minus the guilt. Always love that. Finally, as the fragrance dries down, the tuberose stops singing so loudly and more wood and a musky foundation emerge, providing a harmonious backdrop for the floral symphony. Patchouli and sandalwood in the base imbue the fragrance with some earthiness, and then of course you've got the vanilla. This juice could leave a trail of seduction in its wake for some, for sure. It's beautiful. If you're a fan of very sweet, buttery, and powdery tuberose, you're gonna like this. It's an uplifting, happy, traditionally feminine, but actually also unisex fragrance. The sillage and projection are great. On the flip side, it's overly thick and weighty for some people, and I definitely wouldn't recommend this in the summer, although it is a summery type of floral. I do think there is some complexity to this fragrance, but some people will undoubtedly not be able to get past all the candy that coats it. I like the dry down, but that part of the fragrance does fade fast on me once it gets to that stage. When it comes to the ideal season for this, as I say, I think autumn reigns supreme for me. I think this is a scent that will thrive in the cool, crisp air, and I don't think I'll try to suffocate my friends by wearing this now that it's become so hot and humid where I am now. I've got the aircon on. It's hot and humid in the house too. And also I think this fragrance is really good at night. It's a nighttime flower. It's heady and seductive, so if you wear it in the day, you might be accused of trying too hard. But you know what? Who cares? Wear what you want when you want. And that, my lovelies, is my take on Tuberose Imperiale. Do sniff it out. Love ya and leave ya. Scent Gourmand signing out. Mwah.